Hey guys, my name is Kaylee and welcome back to my channel, Dog Ear Page. Today I decided to do something I haven't done before, which is a TBR video. I don't tend to do TBR videos in my long month here on BookTube, but that's because I don't like to set myself up for failure. I'm a mood reader, which means that if I say I want to read this, this, and this, I tend to not do it because I might pick up something else that feels better in that moment. That said, I realized we only have about a month left of summer before we hit fall, and fall is Halloween, and Halloween means thriller, spooky, Stephen King-y books, and I want to get through a bunch of books before that happens. So I figured let's show the books that I'm hoping to read in the next like 4 or 5 weeks before summer ends and we move on to my favorite season, fall. Let's see what we got here. First and foremost, I am currently reading Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I am kind of slogging through this. I don't know if my expectations were too high. I'm not loving it. I don't hate it, but I need to get it finished. I'm probably just over halfway through, or maybe right at the halfway mark. It's been about a week of trying. I just need to push through to finish it. I don't know, I'll talk more about it when I get to the wrap up, but I need to finish that. So, book number 1 to finish before summer ends, Children of Blood and Bone. The next book I would like to finish before summer ends is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I started reading this like a couple months back. It's been sitting in my Goodreads shelf forever as currently reading, and I'm like 5% in. Not because I didn't enjoy it. I really liked what I read in the beginning, but then like I joined a readathon and I put it aside and I never picked it back up. I really do need to read it though. I liked what I read. It's about a girl whose grandmother lives in the Hazelwood, and she was a writer, I do believe, and she had kind of like a cult following, but she dies, and the main character then, I believe, moves into the grandmother's old cabin in the woods against her mother's wishes. I think that's what it's about. Quality content. The next book should come as no surprise if you've watched my previous videos, and that is I Need to Get to the Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It's so hyped. It's been so hyped. It came out this year, a long time ago. I've owned it pretty much since it came out, at least for my birthday in February, 6 months ago. I want to read it. It's going to be up next. As soon as I finish Children of Blood and Bone, this will be what I pick up. So that's kind of how I'm going to push myself to get through it. And I hope that it's a 5-star read like I'm expecting it to be. We'll call this a TBR / predicted 5-star video. Now the next one is like my most personally embarrassing one, and that's simply because the first book in this series is my absolute favorite, like one of my top 3 books ever written, and I still haven't read the sequel even though I've owned it since Christmas of 2017, and that is The Girl in the Tower by Katherine Arden. I know I'm gonna love it, but I also, her writing is very lyrical, and like if you've read Strange the Dreamer, I would say it's on par with that in terms of how it's written. So you want to take your time with it and enjoy it, and it's not a fast read, and for that I end up picking other books over it that I want to get through faster, and I just need to buck up and do it because I know I'm gonna love it. There's like little question in my mind that I won't. It's gotta happen, especially because the 3rd book in the trilogy comes out in January, so it's gotta happen before then at the very latest, right? It'll happen sooner rather than later. And in the theme of series, we're going to go with the second in a quartet. Is that what you call a 4-book series? We're gonna call it a quartet because I have no other word for it. And that is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I read The Raven Boys recently. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Loved how it ended, ready to read this, had other obligations. That's always my excuse, especially when it comes to series that I don't just dive through, that I don't just read straight through because There's so many books in the world, and so many of the books that I read are series. So, number 2. Not 3 and 4, but number 2. And of course, if you know me because of the Darker Shade of Magic read-along hosted by Common Spence, this one won't surprise you, which is the second in a Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, A Gathering of Shadows by B.E. Schwab. This will be the September book in the trilogy, so of course, no matter what, this book will get done before fall hits because I'll need to read it before the live show. If you're doing it or if you're interested in reading along, the first live show happens this Saturday, so you can either read the book real fast, or if you've read it and you just want to be part of the live show chat, I'll link Common Spence below. Check it out. It's such a great book, so like I've only read the book, the first book, so it's such a great book, but I'm assuming it'll be a really great series as well. This will definitely happen. So that's all my physical books that I'd like to finish before fall hits, but I have a few on my phone that I have from Overdrive. I'm going to briefly go through them. They'll be hard because it's on my phone obviously, but let's see what I've got here that I'd like to get to. First and foremost, I am reading All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I don't know if you can see it, if my camera will focus on it. I know it won't focus close up, so I'm going to hold it here. But I'm currently reading it. I'm about 50% through. It's a thriller. It's a little confusing to explain, and I'm having a hard time actually following it right now because it starts on a day and then it goes backwards to tell you the story. So you're like gaining your insight in reverse, and it's, for me anyway, it's been hard to keep up with the storyline. I hope it comes together well. I don't dislike it. I'm thinking about it when I'm not reading it, which is always a sign of a good thriller. I'm just kind of confused as to what the F is going on. What I will say though is it's about girls that have gone missing in a town. The main character has moved out of the town but has come back because another girl has gone missing, and her dad's in a home because he's like losing his mind, and she has to take care of his affairs with her brother. The town has secrets. It's a small town. Everyone knows everyone, and you're trying to, I guess, figure out where the girls are and what secrets people are keeping. The next book I'm excited to read that has had a lot of hype on BookTube is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I know very little about it, but after Daughter of the Pirate King disappointed me so much, I figured maybe this will like suit my fancy, quench my thirst for a sea book. I don't know. We'll see. If I can get to it, it'll be done soon. I also have The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. I've heard some good things about it. It's not a very long book. It came in on Overdrive. I don't know how many of you have this issue, but I'll put holds on Overdrive, and no matter if I'm like 23rd in line or 2nd in line, I feel like most of my holds come in within the same week. And then I have 5 books I have to get through in 21 days. I also learned from Overdrive that you can pause your holds, but I've got a lot of holds right now, and I intend to get through them. This is one of them. I know very little, except that what I've heard from the people that have read it, it's gotten pretty decent reviews, so I intend to check it out. And lastly, on my ebook holds, I have Fortune Smiles by Adam Johnson. I absolutely know nothing about it, except that it is like an acclaimed book, and it did really well for itself because it won a National Book Award. Cool, I guess. Part of me, like right now, I've been reading a lot of YA, and if not YA, then thrillers, and I just want to read an adult book, so we're gonna go with like a literary book, and I believe it's short stories. I love a good short story collection. We'll see how it goes. So that's it for my TBR for the remainder of the summer. That's a lot of books to get through in about a month, if not just a little bit over a month. I realize that. I'm not gonna put pressure on myself, but I just figured I might as well put it out there and see if I can do it. Sometimes I do better when I challenge myself, and now that everybody can see what I've set myself up to do, maybe I'll be more likely to do it. If you guys have any books that you want to read before summer ends and we hit spooky season, let me know what you're thinking down below. I'd love to hear. If you've read any of these books and you have an idea of how I should prioritize and when, or if I shouldn't read one of them at all, let me know. If you've liked this video, go ahead and hit like for me. Subscribe if you're new here. If you want to hook up on my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Goodreads, the links are down below. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.